It's time for the Steve and Kyle podcast with Kyle.
Let the kids go through the neighborhood with their buckets or their pillowcases.
Yeah.
Get the candy. Instead, we're shutting lights off. And by the way, if you are going around the neighborhood, not only that, but if you're inviting your family over or a friend over to go around the neighborhood with their kids and you're not turning your light on or handing out candy, oh, I'm watching you, bucko.
And Steve.
For months, I've been talking to Evelyn. Do you want to go for a ride in Dada's truck? And she goes, yeah. Yeah,
Just you and me.
Definitely, yeah. So yesterday, now that the truck is finally roadworthy, I said to her, Evelyn, do you want to go for a ride around the block in Dada's truck? No.
She couldn't even care less.
That's hurtful.
Live on tape from APS 3 point whatever, it's the Steve and Kyle podcast.
Thank you, Melissa. We are coming to you live from the Hudsonville Holiday Parade. Hear the crackling of the fire. Wait, nope.
934.
Yeah, we're here in APS 4.0.
Cheers.
Oh, cheers to you too. Thank you. Down on these.
933.
Down on these Chuck E. C's.
Yeah.
Little disappointing. For multiple reasons. We are very disappointed this morning.
Yeah, I didn't want to record today.
Yeah, I didn't want to record today either.
No offense.
No, none taken. I had no desire to see you either.
This podcast had put it in its brain that we were going to innovate as we've done in the past.
Yeah.
From the makers of such creative bits as Fly to Boston for 12 hours and crowdfund a billboard in the middle of Ohio, came the novel idea to record this city's very first podcast live at the parade.
Yeah.
Little did we anticipate an unseasonable, once-in-a-generation November snowstorm for this area.
It was a bit.
That would cause nothing but strife within parade planning and eventually parade execution.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with all your sentiments. I agreed with them about a half hour ago when we attempted to record this for the first time.
Yeah, if I'm
That's
not
a whole-
enthusiastic about anything this a-hole across from me has to say today, it's because I've already heard it. Okay? I haven't seen him in 2 weeks. Could have gone another 2 weeks. No offense.
Oh, okay. Seems as though your anger is misdirected. But...
You know, I'm a guy. I show up, and I've got a 6-shooter cocked right on the hip. Okay? It's ready to go. And I came this morning with 6 bullets in that 6-shooter. Okay?
Okay.
And I would argue in those first 30, however many minutes, I fired off 4 rounds. So now I've got 2 left. Okay? So we've got a couple options. I can either fire off my last 2 rounds.
Oh, okay.
Or I could take the empathetic approach and use them on both of us.
So you're saying end it?
What do you got over there? You got a full clip of bullets left?
Maybe we just, in what took us a half hour to describe, and we weren't even at the end.
Yeah.
Let's try to consolidate that into a couple of minutes. This is going to be a short one, folks.
I know exactly how to do it.
If we hit 30 minutes,
yeah,
I'll be shocked.
I know exactly how to do it. You start at the start point, May, which is when we agreed we were going to start this parading. I'll start last night.
At the same time?
We'll both talk at the same time, and then hopefully we meet somewhere around last week.
Oh, so you're going to go backwards. I'm going to go forwards.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And then we have multiple tracks, and if you don't have audio editing software, I mean, just, I don't know, call up Shike So maybe he can dissect this. We still don't know what he does, so he probably doesn't even know how to do that. No offense. And
I think he's. Well, I mean, we've confirmed he's just a knob tweaker,
right?
So a little
in more ways than one.
Yeah. Tweaks the knob a bit and then does the chef's kiss.
Sends that back with his invoice.
Yeah. For
the arduous labor.
Boy, it's a good gig if you can get it. It sounds like.
And then goes and looks at his bank account as the RCA Records money rolls in. Is RCA still a thing? Columbia.
Yeah, the little dog looking at the Victrola.
Is Columbia Disc House still around? Is he still getting money from that? 10 CDs for a penny.
Okay, so I'm starting in May. You're starting in
yeah.
Okay, so
this is the best way to do this, right?
Yeah. So in 3, 2, 1. Okay,
so
we went to
canceled,
the parade in
and I'm finally
Jenison,
trying
Michigan
to
for
cool
Memorial
down.
Day. We decided,
and
it'd
I
be a great
realized
idea to broadcast from
I can't
a
let
parade.
this thing go.
Record a
so
live
I finally
episode
decide
during
I'm
the
going to
parade.
make a
so
post
we reach
on
out
their
to the
Facebook
local
page.
city,
because again,
find
as
out
you
when the
heard
parade
Steve
is going to
in
be,
a minute or
and then
a
we
minute
decide,
ago,
ooh, I know what I'll do. I'll get
the
the
event
Comanche
wasn't
ready
canceled
for that
on the
event.
actual event page.
So I
they
get a
only
trailer.
made a Facebook
We're going to
post
hook
on
up
the
the
City of
trailer to the
Hudsonville
Comanche.
event page.
We're going to decorate the trailer.
And
this is maddening.
I had to take my headphones off because I could have done it. It doesn't help because it turns out you're still 3 feet away from me.
Okay, abridged version.
Yes.
Back in May, we went to the local Memorial Day parade. We joked about how it would be funny to do a live broadcast sitting at a folding table at that parade. Then, of course, because our ideas can never just stop at one level of terrible, we added the extra layer of we're going to drive through the parade on a trailer, recording a live episode of the podcast. The next parade is going to be the holiday parade. Yeah. Perfect. That's coming up in a couple of months.
And then a step further, we have 4 quality vehicles between us. We decided to use the one that wasn't operational to also pull us through this parade, adding just one more little, like playing Jenga, right?
Yeah.
And you just decide one more brick right on the top.
Yeah.
And you're not putting that last brick on the top in the center where it would be balanced.
No.
We're going to place a cinder block on the side by forcing you to finish the Comanche. Literally no other option.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So it was already going to be enough of a task to just get a trailer, decorate it with some lights, set up our mixer and a Christmas tree. But we decided, so I had to, downshift a bit and really, really make sure that this Comanche was ready. Lo and behold, the one thing that worked out in this whole cockamamie plan was the Comanche is actually drivable now.
Comanche worked along the way. We're not going to recap everything specifically. We lost our seasonal Sammy. We replaced seasonal Sammy. We lost our trailer. We replaced the trailer.
Yeah.
We got a Comanche done. We couldn't get a hold of anybody in the city. We went through, this is no exaggeration, 4 employees of this city so I could pay and figure out, hey, when is parade and where do we go?
Now, it wasn't just somebody saying, oh, I can't help you, but they can help you. It was all the people that you contacted. It was their last day. Like
they were all
one
quitting.
of them. Every one of them.
It feels like
by the way, here, do you need another?
Yeah, I could use one more.
Okay. If you're not familiar with what we're talking about, we'll get to that in a minute.
Yeah. I also have a sales pitch. We're looking to offload. So, finally get a hold of someone at the city. They tell me, hey, they send out email. I pay, whatever. We make our way. Fast forward to week of parade. I'm back from vacation. Your sister and family has left. It's now crunch time. Mm-hmm. Also, at the same time, unseasonably cold, out of nowhere, November snowstorm hits us directly in the heart of West Michigan.
Yeah.
And puts everything kind of at a halt. Mm-hmm. We talked about this on version 1.0 of this recording, but I would have loved like 1 hour, maybe Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, touch up whatever we need to Saturday. We're ready to roll Saturday afternoon.
So what you mean is prepping our trailer and our truck.
Wasn't here until Thursday.
Yeah.
And that's most of what made our decision. We were at the, not the whims, but we were waiting because we were utilizing things from other people.
When you're borrowing stuff, obviously you can't be like needy or demanding. We got it when we got it.
And to be fair,
we had plenty of time.
Yeah, and to be fair, I'm not complaining, but we spent enough, and we'll get to that very quick roundup here in a few minutes. Mm-hmm. So, snowstorm hits. We decide, as of Friday night, I text you, what's the plan? We agree. We'll meet Saturday morning, which would have been November 19th, yesterday from this recording, and we'll start going. We'll do whatever we can, a few hours, so we can split apart, get warm, see our families, get ready, put on 14 layers of clothes, because, again, it's going to be in the 20s.
It's going to be cold.
And dark. So it's not going to be a very pleasant parade, but why would it be any different for us?
It was going to be fun. It was going to be fun. We were going to be sitting on a trailer with our microphones, with our headphones on, with many layers.
Yes.
Just recording this week's episode of the podcast. And we had your friend was going to be Seasonal Sammy.
That's right. We had the replacement Seasonal Sammy driving over from the east side. And thankfully, they'd sent an email to me Friday to our podcast email, which I paid with, and from everything. So that was our contact, and said, "Hey, we've had people asking. I will let you know tomorrow morning if it's going to be canceled." Now, I wasn't fully up to speed. The weather forecast, as far as I could tell, snow was going to be about done Friday. Yeah. It was just going to be cold. Obviously not ideal, but hey, it's winter. It's a holiday parade.
It's the holiday parade.
It's not the 4th of July, and, what are you going to expect? So when my brother had sent me a screenshot of one of the weather services saying Saturday night, 45-mile-an-hour wind gusts and a possible 4 to 6 more inches of snow, and in the 20s, in my head, I'm thinking, well, it was perfectly fitting for this podcast that this would be the parade we choose.
Yeah, yeah.
Because, again, on a typical November over in West Michigan, we don't get much snow.
Right.
We'll get a little bit of it, but it won't stick. It'll be gone the next day.
Cold, but you can assume it's going to be in the 40s, maybe high 30s.
But our friend, Wendy, in downtown Grand Rapids, Michigan, got 27 inches of snow.
I know. Now, granted, where we are, in the town where the parade is going to be held, I think we had 4 inches.
4 inches that stuck. I think it snowed more than
that. It did. It snowed a ton.
Yeah.
But I mean, on the ground right now. Now I haven't cleared the driveway at all. We have probably 4 inches of snow sitting there. So that was when you texted me morning of the parade, Saturday morning.
Yeah.
Now I'm expecting that your text is going to say, heading over in an hour.
Yep, let's go. Time to roll. I've got a bundle of extra decorations for this thing. Let's get going.
That's what so when I saw your name pop up, I was like, okay. I almost said to Annette, like, Kyle's on his way.
Time to go.
Your text said something along the lines of, I'll keep you updated once I hear if it's canceled or not.
Yes.
And I was like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Even with all the snow on the ground, it never even crossed my mind that the holiday parade would be canceled due to holiday-like weather.
Right. And now, granted, this thing wasn't run impressively from the start. I'm not going to get into the minutia of that. If you want to hear that, go back to the version 1.0 recording of this that we did an hour ago.
That we lost.
That's deleted.
Yeah, if you could get that back, Shike.
Yeah, Dan, if you could turn a knob somewhere in your garage in Georgia and make that thing work.
In Georgia? I thought
he moved to Georgia. Yeah, he sent me a message because he's... about that. Spoiler alert, part of the gift exchange, which we'll get to that as well before this episode is over. So I'm waiting because the email on Friday had said around 10 they'll email us. And I'm thinking, I know there's a lot of businesses.
10 a.m.
But you probably have, listen, if you're a coordinated city-wide operation, you have an email list.
Yeah.
Like parade participants, boom, and it autofills all of them in. Right?
Sends it out. Yeah. It's distribution listed as standard business practice.
So I'm waiting. And at that point, I decide I'm not coming over until I know if this thing's going on. Why waste 1 minute in this cold blowing snow that we don't have to if it's not going to happen?
Yeah, because at this point, we hadn't done anything.
Nothing.
Yet.
Literally nothing.
We had a bunch of stuff, but we hadn't exerted. Well, I take that back. On Friday, I took about 5 minutes to shovel some of the snow off the trailer because I thought if it keeps snowing, this is just less snow that I'll have to shovel tomorrow.
Now, maybe you were more confident than I, but in my head, there was a lot to do. It would have been not 1 hour of work, but not 6 hours of work
we probably had a good 3 hours.
Power, seating,
lights,
decor, everything.
Wiring up the mixer, making
Yeah.
sure everything sounds good and looks good.
And last, make sure the Comanche still turns on.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good thing to have on the list because I mean it runs, but
You never know.
I'm not confident with it yet. I'm not hopping in and driving it to New Jersey.
It still runs, but when it gets to be, 15 degrees out and it's you don't know. Next thing you know, you and I are out there pouring hot water on the engine to like de-ice it or something. Do you de-ice the engine? Is that something you do?
Well, I mean, you run the heater and then the coolant circulates
So
through
me
it.
pouring hot water on the engine, would that have helped?
Probably not.
Would that have hurt it?
It probably wouldn't have helped it.
Okay. But it wouldn't have hurt it.
Well, no, that's not what I said.
So if I can go middle of the road on helping this by pouring, again, a 5-gallon
maybe
bucket.
you just stand back.
So while you're getting the Comanche going, I just hands in pockets a few feet away.
Yeah. If I need like a hammer or something, I'll
What
let
about,
you know.
do you need me could I have kicked the mud or the snow off the mud flaps or something? Or?
Yeah, sure.
I mean, I don't want to kick the fender flares. You just put those on. Next thing you know, they'd be flying off.
Yeah, I never did put them back on.
Okay. One more thing on that list that wasn't going to be done.
Look, there was an optional portion of that list.
Sure. Oh, no. I just needed 4 tires and somewhere for me to sit. I didn't even care about Sino and Ryan Young.
Right.
I told you, I was comfortable with a bucket for him.
Yeah. And look at that. So the truck put back together.
Yeah.
I even on Friday, I noticed that the heater wasn't working in it,
Which I honestly did not know.
I didn't know it either.
It was a joke when Chris asked, "Hey, am I going to have heat?" And in my mind, obviously. And then I thought, why would I be so dismissive about that? Well, I don't know. 2, it's actually probably more likely that there is not heat.
Well, the last week, one of the last things I wanted to do is take it to the local mechanic, and I was going to get a front end alignment on it.
Yeah,
because I was driving it down the road, and it kind of wandered throughout the lane a bit, and the steering wheel was a little bit off. So I thought, okay, perfect. Get an alignment. That's the last thing I need to do. So I took it there, and I got the text saying, "Your car's complete. Here's the link to the invoice." And I was like, "Oh, perfect." So I click on the link, and it pulls up a list of basically everything they did or recommend you doing to the vehicle. So they may say, "We did the alignment, but we also noticed that the tire was bald, so we'd recommend that you replace the tire." And then you can either approve or deny, and it's got the projected price on there. Mm-hmm. Pretty nice little system.
Yeah, that is.
So as I'm scrolling through, I'm like, oh boy, there's a lot of things showing up in red here. Red's typically not good. So they agreed that, yes, it needed an alignment, but they also agreed that it needed all new ball joints and all new control arm bushings. And one of the light bulbs, they wanted $73 to replace a light bulb.
Come on.
It's like, what are you, out of your mind?
Yeah, let's get real.
And then I get to the bottom and it says diagnose blower motor. I was like, what the hell's that mean?
Yeah.
So I get the truck back and I realize I'm like playing with the switches for the heat. Nothing's working. I was like, huh. And Sino and Ryan Young had just said, that thing's got heat, right? And I'm like, funny you should mention that. It does not. But again, this was top priority for me. I didn't want him to freeze. I didn't want our pal to be cold.
Oh, he wouldn't have been frozen. He just closed those windows, drinks in that beautiful, beautiful, delicious exhaust.
So I was able to figure out what that issue was. It was a very simple issue, something that just come unplugged, plugged it back in, everything works. So again, the biggest upset is the one thing that was actually ready for the parade.
Now granted, we only needed this thing to go 0.54 miles. That's it.
Right, but I mean, if you calculate the distance that it is, so probably 3 miles there, 0.54 miles through the parade, 3 miles back.
Less than 8 miles.
Yeah.
From start to finish is all we needed out of this Comanche after 2+ years of building. I think you were right. We were there. Right?
Yeah.
I'm waiting around to get this message from the city. Nothing in my email. And I had, joined their event page, which was just an event, saying going or interested or whatever for the holiday parade. Nothing there. I keep checking it. And again, my brother sends me another screenshot from the city government page.
Okay.
That says, we've consulted with the National Weather Service. No, you didn't.
No, you haven't.
Look at the radar. talk to, the local yahoo who won't shut up about the weather. Right? Every town has one of those.
There are people that the National Weather Service takes phone calls from.
Yeah.
The local parade grand marshal,
right.
Probably not one of them.
Yeah, the local, auto body mechanic of the year who is going to be emceeing the holiday parade.
Right.
Probably just coming from an early morning shift at the body shop.
Yeah.
With grease all over and wearing a jumpsuit, was not the guy that National Weather Service was answering the call.
No.
Hey, just wanted to check in and get a status on the Hudsonville Holiday Parade at 6 p.m. tonight. What do you think? And they say, who? And then hang up. Okay? Yeah. The event has been canceled.
Okay.
That's it.
Kind of works out well for us. We hadn't put in really much boots on the ground effort.
Right.
There have been preparations behind the scenes, such as building an entire vehicle.
Yep. Buying decorations, buying candy, buying an outfit, paying the registration fee.
Now that I think about it, we did do quite
getting a trailer.
We've done quite a bit of work.
The only thing we hadn't done was put it together.
Right.
So it's like we bought a puzzle, had it all strewn
all
about.
Pieces out, yeah.
And then got an email from the National Weather Service saying it wasn't going to happen. So, no details, no idea on rescheduling, which you'd think, hey, this parade is on November 19th. That's 5 weekends or so before
plenty of time
before Christmas. This thing could be rescheduled, no problem. So I'm checking my email because I'm thinking, boy, there must be something more formal with, hey, instructions will follow about refunds and this and that. And to cut to the end of that, I'm still waiting for that email. Okay? So if we have time today, I am incredibly aggravated with how this played out.
Yeah.
Not that it was canceled. I'm okay without that we weren't in blowing snow, 20-degree weather Saturday night in the dark. Okay? I understand why it was canceled. I'm not opposed to the reasoning why. I think it could have been rescheduled, and the way this was handled from the start has been disastrous. But, Steve, I wanted to very quickly, because you said we hadn't really done anything. And you're right, we didn't put anything together. But I think it's important to quantify, mostly for our ledgers that we keep and then we turn into Big Dutch Ron.
Of course.
At the end of the year.
Big Dutch Ron.
How much money we've spent combined on this.
Okay. All right. You want to go first?
Sure. Let me go back to the start, where I started on Facebook Marketplace back in probably September, October, thinking let's beat the holiday rush. And I bought a $6 Christmas tree.
All right, you're going to keep track of it over there?
Yep, I got the calculator going.
How much was that?
That was $6.
Okay, $6. So what's our total stand at?
The running tally's at $6.
Okay.
Follow that up with 960 Charleston shoes. Might be too many.
Yeah.
It might not have been enough.
We'll
never know now.
It's our first year. Year. This is our testing the waters year.
And that 960 has been very quickly dwindled down to probably around closer to 900 at this point. Those were $101.
Jesus. Okay.
Let's add to the tally. My mother went to us at the dollar store and was lovely enough to go pick us up some decorations, some
very nice
garlands, some things to put on this trailer.
Very nice.
So we didn't look like the scumbag of the city. That tallied $15.
Okay.
Now there was some confusion on my part and our part about how to be a part of this parade, and if we were a non-profit, which we're not. We are a no-profit.
Right, very different.
But we're also not a business. So initially, I registered us as a non-profit because I didn't want to pay. When you had texted me that said our friend / driver / trailer donator, sign owner Ryan Young, was going to hang a banner for his business, a fantastic idea. I thought, we better pay. I don't want to be turned away at the loading gate and say, hey, where's your documents?
Your receipt? Yeah. I kind of had a feeling that even though we are not a business, in their eyes, we are a business. Right. We're trying to promote something that that we are doing.
Sure.
So,
that
fair enough.
Ran us an extra $50.
Boy, that's
the running tally for me.
A couple big ones there, isn't it?
$172 in preparation. And again, I'm not saying this to complain. This is something we wanted to do. You and I like to do whenever we do have unique ideas, which isn't that often. We like to do them, and I think this is in our billboard line of thinking.
Yeah,
unique enough, distinct enough that it's something I'll remember even when this podcast is gone and dead, hopefully soon.
Very soon.
That it will be a moment we'll remember. Hey, we were in the parade. Hey, we went to Ohio and saw our face on a billboard. So I'm not complaining. And in comparison, people and businesses building gigantic floats with interactive sets and people in costumes.
Oh, very stupid.
Thousands of dollars.
Real dumb people.
Right? And I feel bad for them today.
Yeah. Those idiots wasted their time. Wasted their money.
So again, my tally on this ledger is in the red for $172. Okay. So Steve, if you want to give us a quick rundown of where you're at and we can figure out what we need to get in the black this month.
Right. All right. So first on my list was the attire that we met up a couple of weeks ago at the local Goodwill. It's funny. Do you remember walking out of that Goodwill and we met up with our buddy Rusty? He was right there in the parking lot and we were all there wearing short sleeve shirts and it was a beautiful day.
Far cry.
Yeah, we had spent $32 on seasonal Sammy's attire, but we didn't find everything we needed. We were one piece short. So I ran home, hopped on the old Amazon, ordered that up for another $16.
So just to be clear, has that been opened and used at all, or
opened to be examined?
Okay.
Closed. Wait a minute, was it open?
If I know,
No, it was open because I think I sent you a picture of it.
Okay, if I know Bezos, we can get that 16 back.
Yeah.
Okay, so we are now at, after the close, $220.
Boy, when you put it that way, sure hurts. And it would hurt enough if that was the end of it.
Oh, God dang it.
But the one thing that we needed was a power inverter.
Oh, that doesn't seem cheap.
Which gets hooked up to the battery of the Comanche. And it converts basically car energy to house energy.
Okay.
So I can plug in our mixer, our lights.
Any other decor.
Any other things that we have on the float that need power. Float, using that term very, very lightly.
Trailer with decorations.
We have a 6x10 like landscaping trailer. That was $80.
Oh my God! Is that
is that
it?
I think so.
Okay.
I feel like there's more that we're forgetting about.
Probably. That puts us at a beautiful round number of negative $300 for this adventure.
So what?
And that's with using, again, we're planning on using some of our own holiday decorations, lights, and things around the house that we had to contribute. We had borrowed a trailer. It's not even our own. So this could have easily crept up and up and up if we had just decided.
I just thought of one more thing. I thought of one more thing that I had to get. Now, this, again, we borrowed the trailer from Sinol and Ryan Young.
Yeah.
I have the Comanche.
Yeah.
Hook them together, no problem. But in order for the lights on the back of the trailer to work, I had to get a special adapter that took the power from the brake lights of the Comanche, split it out so I could plug it into the trailer. That was $50. Oh, my God. And if we had done the parade, it wouldn't have gotten here in time anyway. It showed up at like 6 o'clock yesterday.
Oh, good.
So
that is $350 we're invested for.
Yeah. Now, granted, a couple of those things we can hold on to. Maybe if we're going to do this again at some point. Oh, sorry, I forgot that.
So here's my thought. Keep everything.
Keep it all?
I'm thinking the tree,
okay,
the lights, everything. We hook that puppy up for Memorial Day.
Kind of like a silent protest of how
Well, it's in a different municipality.
Yeah.
But that's good. It's our kind of parade middle finger.
Which is what every good parade needs.
Yeah, every good parade needs a parade middle finger.
I think, put that on the poll. I think that's a fair thing to ask. So, here we are. The day after what should have been our crowning achievement moment of the last 6 months.
Yeah, a lot of stress on my part. A lot of...
You were stressed.
Listen, I wanted this thing done. And again,
you were stressed.
The one thing I didn't want to be, I did not want to be the absolute dirt of this parade.
I think that was going to be the case no matter what.
We were going to be the most different.
We were being pulled by a multicolored rusty truck sitting on a 6x10 landscape trailer.
Again, that's all by choice.
With headphones on, not even really referencing the fact that we were in the parade.
Right.
Just simply using it as an opportunity to record this week's episode.
Yeah, we had vague plans to put our faces on the gate of this trailer.
Yeah.
To let people know that, I don't know, it's a podcast.
Yep.
We didn't have any other plans to somehow magnify the audience of our podcast and let people know where they can find us.
Nope. No.
And that's the things I was worried about. And if we could have gotten a bigger banner, a QR code, something like that.
But just imagine how prepared we're going to be for next year.
Oh,
I don't really feel like doing it next year. I feel like this was the year.
I feel like we need to do a warm weather one. Because will that be canceled for rain?
Probably.
Would it?
Yeah. I think so.
Rain? What's the rain going to do? Hurt people? I mean, us would be devastating. But I'm just saying parade overall.
Maybe we get one of those like glass box trailers.
See, we've already got options. A glass box trailer.
Okay, so we just need a glass box trailer listening.
Anybody out there, you listen, do you create large scale glass cubes with a door?
We're your guys.
We would love to borrow one of those for free.
Yeah.
If you'd be so kind.
Yeah.
So there's a few things I want to get to, and again, we've already recorded half this episode once.
Yeah.
We need to very briefly mention the waning days here to enter the gift exchange,
Oh,
Steve.
of course.
The
The
annual tradition, the 7th annual Steve and Kyle podcast, Cloak and Dagger non-denominational
Winter Solstice Gift Exchange.
Had a lot of lovely returnees. We've got some new faces and names that I haven't seen before. Our very first ever Canadian entrant.
Really?
Which is a delight to see. But we are winding...
Right?
But we are...
I apologize, by the way.
Thank you. God, did feel a little quiet.
Jeez.
But we are waning down the days for you to be able to enter. And I know it's been a weird recording schedule, but I wanted to give everybody ample opportunity.
How are we doing, by the way?
I wanted to give everybody ample opportunity.
So we're
If
doing
they want to
doing
join,
well, is what you're saying.
There is still time to join.
Please, dear God, join.
There's a good number, but I know you said you wanted to break the record this year, Steve. I'm confident saying with about a week left.
Ooh, boy, yeah, I just pulled up the...
we are not going to beat the record.
Where were we last? Oh, boy, that's a lot of scrolling for last year.
At Steve and Kyle. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Please just send us a message.
Mm-hmm.
Your name and address, that you're interested in joining the gift exchange.
Boy,
we will put you on the list.
I like seeing us. I like seeing Arizona, Michigan, Illinois, Iowa, New York.
The normal culprits, the Tennessees, the New
York.
York.
Texas down there, too.
Yep, Minnesota.
North Carolina checking in.
I love it. I love the scope.
Tennessee.
Again we have
Burns/Dixon.
Georgia, Louisiana. I mean, we are spanning the North American continent.
Pennsylvania.
Yeah, you can stay home.
Boy, that Canada one throws me off because it's got the weird S9X1.
Yeah. I don't know how, but I'm just going to copy that to the recipient of our Canadian participant and hope there's no issues.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how to correct him. Do they call a horse and have him go try to sniff the package out of the snow?
Yeah. The Mounties will be there to...
at the border?
At the border.
Yep. So they hand it off. So we have a little white and blue mail truck rumble through the snow up to the border.
Yeah.
Screech the brakes when they see, the
Take
flag.
It out, drop back to pass.
Yep.
Throw it over the border.
Yep.
Although, it's like CFL up there. Don't they play with like one player?
Yeah, maybe they rugby kick it. Horse catches it in its mouth.
Yeah.
Flips its dumb head up.
Yep.
Package lands in the pouch of the police. Horse turns on its heel. Hopefully it doesn't stub its toe and fall over. Tear out of town to the next province, wherever they need to deliver this package.
Right. Well, the next maple syrup collection station, it's handed off to a very, very polite person in a Toronto Maple Leafs jersey.
That's right.
And a Montreal Canadiens hat. Probably not. Aren't they rivals?
Probably, yeah. All Canada hates all other Canada, right? Like if you're Toronto.
Okay, so they're wearing a Toronto Maple Leafs jersey.
Yeah.
With a Tim Hortons hat.
Yep.
Yeah. Singing "O Canada."
There is still time. Again, at Steve and Kyle, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. DM us your name and address. Don't make it a post or a comment on one of our posts. There's a chance we won't see it. Mm-hmm. So please send us a message on any social media platform. We will reply to you and tell you, hey, you're on the list, whatever, so you'll know that we've received that. If you don't receive that, please follow up with us in a day or two and say, hey, did you get this, to make sure we didn't miss you. Love to have you on the list. We're going to start sending recipients' names out probably end of this upcoming weekend.
Yeah.
That'll put us at the last weekend in November, very early December. Gives people plenty of time to order and send gifts. Please be thinking about the gifts now that you're going to be sending to these fine folks. Let's get this thing going. I would love to see a bunch more names here in this final week, Steve. Let's make this one of our best gift exchanges ever.
Let's make this an actual successful promotion, unlike the parade.
Yeah, let's not go 0 for 2 in 1 month. God, would that be a real kick in the nuts?
But also so likely for this podcast.
Almost a guarantee at this point.
I mean, the likely outcome.
I don't know how you want to handle this, Steve, because I still have a gripe with this parade.
Say no more, because if you have a gripe...
Grr, he's mad. You're about to get an earful. So upset. He's angry. Hey, you!
I don't like when...
Kyle's gripe of the week. Gripe of the week. Gripe.
I think that second to last one was my favorite this time. Gripe of the week. Changes every time.
Yeah.
Love them more every time I hear them. So again, I'm not going to get into too much of the minutia outside of, as we mentioned, I was aggravated with not being able to get a hold of anybody from the city and trying to figure out, hey, where do we meet? When do we meet? Literally any detail.
Yeah.
It turns out not everybody has been in parades before and know exactly where to go and when to go. Mm-hmm. So one of my bigger issues with was lack of communication the last few days, Steve.
Yeah.
There was an email sent out Friday, which I thought was fine. I'll let you know around 10 a.m. tomorrow if we're going to cancel this thing.
Sounds
beautiful.
Good.
I don't receive an email. And again, as I'm recording here at noon on a Sunday, still no email saying that the parade is canceled. Mm-hmm. So I go to the event page on Facebook.
Surprised you're so calm, by the way, for a gripe of the week.
I've had time to stew on this, and I need to get the details out because this thing turns funny to me last night. Okay. This thing turns comical. So the only post that was made about the parade being canceled was on the city government page, which I think is a little bit odd. You have an event page that people have RSVP'd to and say we're going, not going. And when you make a post there as the host of the event,
everybody gets the notification.
Everybody would be notified saying the event's canceled. Hey, we're not, it's in a holding pattern, whatever it may be. At least people would be updated. Now, you're simply relying on people to follow their local municipality on Facebook. Mm-hmm. I don't. I didn't see it, Steve. Yeah. My brother had to send me this. I don't know if he follows them or if
Why does your brother follow
my brother's
local...
really into government.
Is he?
Thank God he did, Steve. Otherwise, you and I would have been trucking down the middle of 3 roads in a snowstorm, waving at nobody.
We should have still done it.
We should have gone. So they make the post.
Give 900 Chuck E. C. Juniors to the one kid sitting on the side of the road.
One guy leaving work at the restaurant next door. We think he's a parade watcher. He's just waiting for us to pass. And he gets a bag.
He gets hit with a bag.
900 Chuck E. C's. So they make that post at a little after 10 a.m. So that the parade will be canceled due to the forecast for cold temperatures and blowing snow.
That's a bummer.
Thank you for understanding. We hope you have a fun and warm rest of your weekend. Couple comments flow in. So at that point, I'm more focused on, I'm texting you. Mm-hmm. I'm texting Chris, UP Chris from the east side to make sure he's not going to be driving over. He already isn't as our seasonal Sammy. Don't come. Mm-hmm. It's a waste of your time.
Yep.
So I don't even see some of these comments. There's one on there from a local business saying, is it done or is it rescheduled? I've got a float taking up half of my shop right now, and I need to know if I need to tear this thing down.
Yeah.
And again, this is why I kind of get, like, we were put out by it a little bit financially. Yeah. People much, much worse than than you and I had, and had put in much more work than you and I had. So I stewed a little bit, and then early yesterday afternoon I thought, boy, I am real disappointed with the way this went.
Yeah, this is the perfect storm for you.
Yeah.
This is something that when I saw it was canceled, I said, all right, cool. Hadn't really put in a whole lot of work for it. At least we hadn't spent a bunch of hours setting everything up. But, all right, no problem.
Yeah. I want to clarify. I'm okay with it being canceled.
Sure.
Would have preferred postponed. Right. I still think there's plenty of time that they could have figured a way out to do this.
Maybe, who knows? Maybe we're doing this next weekend.
Steve, that's what you might think. And to get the answer to that, you'd have to go to the comments of a post where one guy said, is it rescheduled? Where the city simply commented to him, said we won't be rescheduling.
Okay.
Still waiting on that email. To clarify that, no worries. So I decide I'm just going to say that I'm disappointed. So I post, this is some peak effort in horrid scheduling and communication. Participants weren't emailed. This wasn't even posted on the event page itself. This was all after they posted a route with no road names that stood no chance of handling all the people this parade normally gets. An awful job top to bottom.
Boy, they're getting an earful.
That's it.
Because this is the gripe of the week.
Yeah.
So you know that you're in for an earful.
No, great.
You heard the intro.
This wasn't typical fly off the handle, throwing insults and curse words. I'm simply saying this was not done well. Okay? First comment was somebody saying, false participant here, and I received an email this morning. Apparently there wasn't an email list, because again, I still haven't received one. Let's all stay on the nice list, and please be kind. Listen, lady. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, a little late for that.
I said, oh, wow, participant here too. No email.
Oh.
If you think this citywide function was run smoothly, I'd hate to see what a badly one is. Someone else said they received an email yesterday morning.
Okay,
wow.
So something... All right, so...
No. This is... I'm not taking any fault or...
No. It's... So there was obviously one sent, but they just didn't have the proper attention to detail to put the people on the list that needed to get it.
And again, I know I was an early registrant for this. I was calling them in September.
Yeah.
To say, hey, I want to make sure I don't miss when these open. And I was right there registering and paying for this.
Boy, it's hard to believe that something slipped through the cracks during those 4 different job transitions.
And I don't know if it's employee A, B, C, or D who forgot to email me, but one of them's going to be held to the fire for this. So then I received, and so at this point I'm done. I'm not commenting back. It is what it is. So I receive a message or a comment from a fake profile picture and like just the blank one, and obviously a false name. And I'll get to that in a moment. This was the official route that was posted weeks ago. Pay attention. And I thought, well, that's weird because it is the route, but it actually has road names on it and it clarifies it. I thought, boy, that's weird. How did I miss that? Funny you should ask, Steve. I didn't. I scrolled down 2 inches on the very same page where the route was posted with no road names. This doesn't matter to me that much. This is simply a list of issues that I think they had.
Sure.
I live in the city. I was able to deduce where this route was going to be. Not the main issue. And I'm looking at this name and I think, no, this is school level stuff. Should I say the name?
Oh, go for it.
Okay. The name is listed as Kurtap Namrata. And I thought...
Say that again?
Kurtap Namrata.
Kurtap Ramnatah? Namrata.
So, Steve, were you ever a child?
As far as I remember, yes.
You ever think of codes when you were a kid?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Maybe like you do that thing where A equals 1 and B equals 2 and so forth through the alphabet.
Yeah. Let me just read my reply comment to you so you can figure this out as I figured it out.
Okay.
Oh, hello there, official city manager Patrick Waterman.
So Kurtop would appear to be...
Just mirror that, Steve.
Patrick. Okay.
Kurtap Namrata, apparently Patrick Waterman, some city manager for some dump in West Michigan, some salad bowl hole, decides he's going to get on a burner Facebook account And this dumbass isn't even smart enough to hide it.
Hey, you don't know for sure that Kurtap is not a completely different person.
Works at City of Hudsonville.
Okay, well, that made it easy. Come on, Kurtap, at least try.
So this dumb piece of shit is decided, and I'm sorry, now I'm mad again. Now I'm furious. Because this walking piece of asshole has decided to go on a burner account that he's too dumb to disguise properly. Mm-hmm. He's like 8 years old spelling his name backwards. Well, I still work at the City of Hudsonville. This was posted on this very page 1 day ago and on HudsonvilleEvents.com as the root. Mm-hmm. Not very helpful. And I had attached the photo, which is, again, a triangle of a Google Map image with no street names.
Come on, Kurt.
Not very helpful. It was just a point in a list of issues I had. Glad I can voice them without officials being snarky and rude about a shoddily run event. I cannot fathom that in the scheme of this, where again, if you go to the official cancellation post on the city page, people are not thrilled that it wasn't rescheduled and that it was just totally taken off the table. Mm-hmm. I'm not surprised at this point, based on the apparent turnover that this office seems to have had over the last 30 days.
It seems like it's a revolving door there.
But I'm
surprised Kurtap survived as long as he did there.
He might still be there. I don't even know if he's... I Googled his name. It seems he got hired for another job in another local town.
Congratulations, Kurtap.
So this dumb head is taking his awful sense of awareness on social media to another unlucky city. Somehow, me being perturbed that an event was canceled. Mm-hmm. Not just local residents being, oh, give him a break. Or, would Santa like that? Stay on the nice list. Shut up, Caitlin. Idiot. It attracted the ire of a local city official because I posted a parade route that they posted. Well, you need to pay attention. You know what you need to pay attention to? How to properly disguise your presence online if you don't want to be caught, Kurtap Namratov. The worst. God, even your family looks dumb.
Grr, he's mad. You're about to get an earful. So upset. He's angry. Hey, you!
I don't like when...
Kyle's Gripe of the Week. Gripe.
Well, anyway, we'll catch up with you on Memorial Day.
Whew. Okay, that was a lot to unpack there.
I just don't understand why you...
Okay, all right. You good?
The local elected official, I mean, you got to have a better sense of awareness. All right, I'm good.
Good. Maybe we can get Kurtap on next week.
Oh, yeah, I have nice words. Oh, yeah. Definite words to exchange with Kurtap.
At Steve and Kyle, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Keep an eye on them. Maybe we'll be doing a Chucky C. Jr. giveaway because we got 900 of them.
Yeah, we may have to freeze these until, again, Memorial Day, where then they'll melt. Mm-hmm. I'm now starting to see why people do like the Sweet Tarts and the Smarties.
Yeah. Because
these will melt on Memorial Day, I'm assuming.
All right, so stay tuned for that event announcement.
Yes, gift exchange, please. We are down to the last days. At Steve and Kyle, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Please send us a message, name and address. It's all we need. We will reply to you that you're in. Last week to get your name and address in. Let's do it.
All right, we will talk to you next week. See you.